I'm gonna deliver the best training I can so that you can get not only value, but also maybe something that can help you get some momentum. As I promised you, I wanted to make this free training, as any other free training that I do, not only information based, but truly something you can implement, but also trying to give you some stories and some examples that you can apply to your life and hopefully kickstart a big change that you want to see in your own life. So nothing fancy here, I haven't prepared anything very strict or very specific, because I just wanted to be as authentic as I could be. And yeah, this is just me, my energy, and how I work, how I would literally jump on a call with a client, helping them through whatever they're going through. I hope you're taking some notes, take down some golden nuggets, and even write down in the comments below where you're from, what you're working on, and if you find this valuable. So today I wanted to first of all start off with describing a little bit what mistake I keep seeing again and again and again when I talk to people, and after having worked with clients for more than 6 years on their mindset and their physical health and their mental health. What I tend to see is this major, I would say, mistake, just because I can see how it's not serving them. And it certainly didn't serve me when I started my personal journey. So again, to give you a little bit of an idea of what I started with, I was never the most confident person on the planet, let's put it that way. I had to kind of put a mask of confidence on and showing people that I was capable of doing anything. I was a terrible loser. I always shoot for the best. So I kind of consider myself, or I've always seen myself as an overachiever, someone that always wanted to go to the next level, always wanted to be the best, always required the best from himself. And that is something that I love as a trait in people. And the majority of my clients have that trait. But I also know the danger of having that kind of mindset, and how dangerous it can be to be a perfectionist or having an all or nothing mentality when we struggle, especially when it comes to our health and our journeys, or literally in life. Because anything that I always teach my clients about fitness, or how to kind of like communicate or live their life by design and building a life they thrive with, you can apply these concepts with literally anything. But the biggest thing that I hope this training is going to give you is that it's not going to just be information. I want this to be a helpful way for you to implement something, to start doing. Because again, a lot of my clients tell me that, like, getting coaching from me through the work we do, the tools we use, it's like going to therapy, because we do work on the mindset, on the mental level of things, but then actually taking action on things, having a clear roadmap, knowing what to do and how to achieve those goals they have. Which, funnily enough, that's how then they become confident. So we'll get back to that very soon. But once I was in a training with a great expert on behavioral science and neuroscience, and he told me something that really stood out to me, and I kept teaching it to my clients as well, and I tried to kind of like live it, because again, I try to do everything that I do with clients and for clients, also myself. Like I want to walk the talk and want to lead by example. And what he said about confidence really stuck with me, and I want to share with you today. So he said confidence is about composure, and is being the most comfortable person in the room, being the most relaxed person in the room. Now, that truly stuck with me, because he didn't speak about having a feeling or feeling confident or having certain positive thoughts or believing in yourself or being motivated or be disciplined. It didn't talk about any of that, but it went back to the body, meaning feeling relaxed, feeling comfortable, feeling confident. So already, as you can see, and I hope you get that from me, with all the posts that I make, both on Instagram, here on Facebook, you know how much I see everything in a person as interrelated. So it's what we do is a holistic approach that we use in coaching, so we can get your body to match what your mind is going to tell you. And if you have some thoughts and feelings, that's going to affect how you behave and therefore your results. Also, the opposite is true, is that if you do certain things or certain things happen in your life, that's going to affect how you feel and how you think. So there is nothing that is just like, you know, you go to the therapist, you tackle your thoughts here, then you go to the personal trainer, you tackle your actual physical training here, then you go to the other person to tackle your sleep right here. And you cannot become this person with like different approaches that are put onto you, but nobody ever puts everything together and sees you for the person you are, with the struggles you go through, the things that are told to you, the things that you are living. And therefore it becomes a bit scattered. And a person that is scattered, a mind that is confused, is not a mind that can be confident, and is not a mind that will achieve what they want to achieve. Building confidence, I think, and improving confidence comes from self-trust. And this is why with my clients and with myself, the first step that we need to put into practice and start thinking about, at least at the theoretical thinking level, is we need to realize that confidence is you building self-trust with yourself, is you keeping your own word. Because if you stay consistent with something, or you do something that you promise yourself you would prioritize, you do something that you promise yourself you would do, whether it's like the small little things, I clean the kitchen or I go work out, or something major, you getting done the things that you said to yourself, this is important to me, I want to get it done, and working through it and actually getting it done is going to improve the self-trust. And if you improve self-trust, when you trust someone, you see them and you build the confidence. You're confident that they will deliver. Therefore, if you start building your self-trust, if you start with the very, very small, simple steps of saying something, planning something, deciding on something, and going through with it, again, doesn't need to be big things, you will improve your confidence for sure. There is no doubt about it. Then the thing that a lot of people think is that confidence is based on achieving something and then feeling proud. And I think a lot of people confuse confidence with feeling proud or having achieved already something, and therefore could prove, oh, I did that, therefore I can be confident, or I act confident because I trust, you know, my ability because I did it already. But it's not only about the result, it's about the person you are in the process. It's not about the result and the outcome only. It's about the input. It's about all the steps. It's about the work you put in and how you work and how you feel during that process. And I'm stopping and thinking because I'm having some examples of people that have told me just this past week how much just having a plan and getting the things done that they told themselves they would do helped them feeling more calm, more relaxed, and therefore even more confident in what they were doing. And I think this is kind of like the key that I want to give you. And the way to start performing that is literally to build that reputation with yourself. And how you build reputation with yourself, to start off, is going back and looking at everything that you've already done, that you already achieved, that it's big and small, that you can kind of prove to yourself if you have a difficulty understanding or believing in yourself or believing your own words. That happens sometimes, right? You want to go back and literally write a list of everything that you already achieved, all the things you're proud of, all the things that you see you worked out of yourself, you build yourself for yourself, things that you wanted to happen and made that happen, or maybe things that you had to fight and make happen and they happened somewhat okay. All right, we're not perfect. And you want to start building that reputation with yourself. And you might end up having 20, 30, 50, 100 things that you achieved, from I wanted to get that haircut when I was in 3rd grade and I convinced my mom to do it, or I wanted to go to the school, I applied, I got it. I wanted to work in this field and I made it happen. I decided to do this about myself, about my gender, and I went and done it. All these things, you write them down and you see them for what they are. You have this huge list and you really look at it. Already that is you proving to yourself, well, wait a second, maybe I am already confident. I know that confidence is something I'm born with. because I made this point on our coaching call, group coaching call that I have with my clients every week. My client was saying, you know, I'm not used to be confident. I'm not a confident person. So I need to work on it. And this is something that I want to make this clear. You are born confident. When you get out in this world as a baby, you don't care about how you look, if you stink because you have a diaper, if you are teethless, if you have food all over your face, if you cry in the middle of the night and you keep everybody up. As a kid, a person looks at you and you're all chubby and all like ugly, just born, and you smile at them and you look at them and you don't care about what they think, you just are. Then that is your true you. You are born confident. Then how you build yourself through the years with everything that happens to you and how you interpret what happens to you, that is what it's what might erode that self-confidence, that might make you doubt, the self-doubt. If you don't know how to deal with your thoughts and your own perception of self and your own self-image in your mindset, that is what erodes the idea that you have of yourself, and that is what is gonna quote unquote kill your possible progress, your next level, your progression, even just like your potential. But you are born confident. And that's point number one. We need to agree on that. Based on that, the easiest way to achieve the self-confidence and therefore building your dream body, working towards something that you want to achieve, we will need consistency, which is something I always talk about: consistency, motivation, and habits. The problem is that a lot of people think that, especially if you're like me, kind of an overachiever, perfectionist, that consistency is being perfect, 100% perfect. Where in fact, consistency is about persistence, is having the same focus, putting yourself in the right rooms at the right time, and keeping that focus day in and day out on the things that matter. And sometimes you can do it optimally. You do the steps that are needed to get there optimally. Sometimes you need to do it practically. Sometimes you can train 4 times a week and eat perfectly. Some other days you have a lot of work, something happens, you might need to reduce that or revisit your plans. This is what we do with my clients. We keep seeing results, and we get to huge results because we know how to tackle mentally our own self, but at the same time we have fun and we have an easy roadmap to follow. We have a goal, a North Star, something we work towards, and we cut it down into steps. So we always know what is our next step and how do we do that for this week, and what about next week. So when you have a plan, usually you feel more calm because you know what's happening. And by the way, it's not a plan that this other person told you, or the therapist told you, or your mom told you, or your spouse told you. Is you decide how to use your time. So time management, having a plan, knowing what to do, what you need, creating and finding out, which is what I do with my clients, is finding out your personal success formula, not based on all the information that is out there. This is the perfect way to eat. You shouldn't do that. That is not allowed. If you don't train this much, if you don't eat these things, you shouldn't care about that. You need to find out what works for you specifically. And that work is both something that you need to think about, and it requires inner work. But the second you start raising your self-awareness and you understand what things work best for you and how to approach them, and what maybe mindset shifts you need to do in order to feel better and make this journey less full of effort and grind, but more organic and pleasant and for the long term sustainable, you need to also put in actions based on a roadmap that you're building for yourself, because you're having realizations about who you are, what you prefer, how you actually like to live your life, what your body actually needs. And then you start doing one thing at a time, one step at a time. This week you focus on this, next week we focus on that, the third week we focus on that. You track things, you see it, you can feel it, you report back, you have that confidence because you have a plan, you have a roadmap, and you're training yourself to keep your own word. You build the reputation with yourself. So when everybody doesn't look, you can trust that you're going to do the right things. And if you fall into procrastination, low motivation, and all that, those are just mental states and things that you work on at the mindset level, at your self-image, at your subconscious level, that we can disrupt and see what the root cause is, so that you are free and liberated from that once and for all, so that you can then build a reputation, have the right things for yourself, and go get your dream body. And building your dream body, which is something that is very catchy, right, doesn't mean having a perfect body as per everybody's standards. It's just your dream body should be a body where you feel at ease, where you feel exactly confident, calm, composed. You thrive. You're building your life by design. You're getting to the next levels that you want to see. And whether that is a perfectly built chest, losing some weight, building some muscle mass, becoming more masculine, presenting a certain way, whatever it takes, whatever success you see in yourself, whatever self-image of yourself you have, you can build if you have a clear roadmap on how to do it, and at the same time you keep your own word, and you have that confidence in knowing that you're doing the right thing for yourself and you are practicing it. You're keeping on track, you're persistent. People don't come to me because they lack information. If you need a workout plan and if you need a diet plan, you can go to ChatGPT and do it for free. It's gonna give you give her some information. I use Herb, I don't know, I feel that at this moment. You give it some information, it's gonna spit everything that you need to do. You text me, hey, I need a diet plan, I need a workout plan. I can give it to you for free. That is not what you need to get to your next level. There is that I can give for free to everybody. And there's a lot of coaches and people out there that make a ton of money just giving people that. And then when that fails, which I had a lot of clients going through those things and, you know, oh, it's cheap. Oh, it's an app. Oh, I just pay this little amount of money every month. But you don't get results because you're still confused, because it's not based on you. It's just a little thing that 1,000 other people can get. Doesn't have anything to do with who you are, what you want to build, what your life is about, and what you want to create for yourself. It doesn't teach you how to think through things, how to build sustainably your life. And I had someone texted me the other day asking, how the heck is it possible that year round you have the same physique and you don't put on fat and you stay lean year round, and you've done that for the past years that I've been following you on Instagram, the past like 5 years, you basically stayed the same. And trust me, I don't do anything special and it's nothing magic. Actually, on the contrary, it's very, very simple and it's very, very easy for me to maintain that. But why? It's because I've been building habits, systems, and mostly because I worked on my self-image. There was a time where, because I hated how I looked, or I had a difficult relationship with my body, how I perceived myself in the world, that wasn't matching. And the second that I empowered myself through knowledge, understanding that I needed help in order to get there, and I needed support, and I needed a roadmap, and I needed to put in the consistency, and especially knowing why I was doing it and how to do it, then it took me years to build that. And the only reason that I can stay that way is because it's a habit, it's a way of life. I built an identity. I didn't have an app for a week or trained super hard for 6 months and, you know, being very strict diet plans for 6 months and then got a great result, could post it on Instagram and then whatever. I built an identity, and that allows me not only to perform and have a stable, consistent, confident routine at the gym, but also improve my relationships. Because when you work on yourself and you invest in yourself first, you put that oxygen mask on yourself first, and you become confident. Confident people attract other cool people. Confident people are given more responsibility. It's a skill. Like confidence and having this dream body is not that short-term little thing that you can do to just feel good for a second. Because I had a lot of clients coming in and they already maybe achieved some goals, but they weren't fulfilled. So you can have success, but you might not be fulfilled. So you want to build an identity that is based on your personal experience and how you do things. And if you can get that, then you won the game. Because no matter what happens, you take responsibility for everything that happens to you. You put in the work, but you also know how to do it so that it's not hard work. It's not a grinding thing. is that you building an identity, navigating through things, knowing how to put in systems that will allow you to be persistent, no matter if motivation is high, low, if you have the fire in the belly to go train or not, it just stays there. And you can tackle mentally the low moments, the high moments, the mid moments. There is not going to be anything that kind of like puts you off track. All right. So if you do wrong one day, guilt and shame are not going to attack you. If you're not consistent for a week or two, you're not going to think bad about yourself and then stop doing everything that you were doing. And if you can keep that reputation up with yourself and look at yourself in the eyes, looking in the mirror, and you can tell to yourself, man, I'm pretty proud of myself today. I've done well. I followed my systems. I lived by my values. I've done something that is gonna better myself, even if it's a 0.1%. And I also recognize, yeah, there's things I still need to work on, but all in all, we're moving in the right direction. Wouldn't that person be confident? And trust me that when you have a system and when you know what to do and you take it one step at a time, then there is no way that results are not coming. There is no way. And I think a lot of people that I talk to are asking themselves or focusing on $1 questions instead of asking themselves the $10,000 question. Your goals should not be just changing one little thing and then hoping that everything changes. You cannot just change the external, and having a different diet plan or having a different little thing or starting this one little thing is more about how you think about yourself, what you're going to do about your life, how much responsibility and empowerment you're going to give yourself. Working on yourself is always going to be number one. Like I cannot tell you enough how much how you look and achieving your dream body has nothing to do, or it has not only everything to do with calories, the perfect diet, the exact perfect workout plan. If your mind is not the right place, if you're not doing the right work in here, yeah, it might work for a couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months, even a couple of years if you're lucky. But if you're not working on who you're becoming, then it's gonna dry out. Because again, even the body of your dreams that you're trying to build at some point is gonna be gone. We're all getting old. So at some point, whatever it is, the goal, it's gonna be, gone. And what do you do at that point, right? Are you still confident, or are you basing everything on how you look? Are you still capable of building this identity of a strong person? I mean, someone that is resilient, that knows how to live a life that is thriving, that knows how to improve their quality of life. And especially as LGBTQ people, that is the people that I want to serve, we think that taking care of ourselves, investing in ourselves is a luxury, because we might have been living in survival mode for so many years. And we think giving yourself like this attention and putting ourselves first it's a luxury. It's a nice to, but not a need to. But I kid you not, just this week I had 2 clients telling me the same thing, which is something that every client at some point understands and tells me about. That is, I never imagined that this work would change so much other circumstances and not only how I look in my body. I'm changing my body. I'm making huge progress. I'm keeping consistent. I'm doing this work and it feels great. But it's also changing my relationship with my mother. It completely changed my relationship with, my wife or my family, my friends. I got promotions at work. This thing happened. I got a raise. And that starts from you doing the work within. So I hope this was a little bit of a kickstart. And tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about some actual things that we can start doing. I wanted to give you a framework on how to think about confidence and how to start doing some inner work, as well as I gave you some examples of what to do that might help you. I'm not here to talk to everybody. 99% of people are watching this or are going to see this, are not going to do anything about it. But I'm talking to you, the one person that actually wants to do something and get to the next level and feel finally themselves 100% and free and better. I'm talking to you. If you are still here and listening, and this has been resonating, I'm gonna reach out to everybody just to make sure that you're actually getting help. So if there is anything I can do, I might have some resources that I can get you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for showing up. And yeah, I wish you a great day.